Now, a lot of people have been requesting a tutorial for beginners, so I'm going to try to teach you the way I learned, the best way that I can. And if I'm going a little too fast, I want you guys to slow this video down or watch it as much as you can until you learn it. You're going to think of what size braid you want. I want you to feel that braid. And then that's how you're going to determine how much hair you're going to get out of the bundle. Hold it on the ends of each corner. And you're going to grip it firmly but loose enough to stretch the hair apart. And you're going to slowly pull. You got to pull kind of hard because you got it firm. And kind of pull until the hair starts to stretch out. Just like this. Then you're going to grab the hair from the middle and kind of grab towards the middle in a firm grip and stretch it a little more. Just like this. This is going to thin the hair out toward the ends, and it's also going to make the hair a little bit longer than what it would have normally been. You don't want the hair too thick on the ends. I'm parting the hair in a diagonal pattern. And once I'm done braiding, it's going to make that diagonal diamond pattern. Take the hair. I grab both parts of the weave into these three fingers, my thumb, my forefinger, and my pointing finger. And I'm going to hold the hair over here in this hand. Now what I'm doing is, a lot of people think that you have to pull the hair tight when really it's all about gripping firm. You would grip her natural hair firmly. That's meaning I'm gripping the hair firm, but I'm not pulling her hair from the root. I'm just gripping her strands. And then you're going to grip these firmly. Twist this hair, the weave around. Grab everything with your fingers. This is her hair, and this is the extension hair, the brown hair. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all the hair the same amount of thickness. This hair is this thick, this is kind of thin, and then this is the same amount of hair as this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some hair from this side and put it in over here with her natural hair in the middle. Now what I'm going to try to do next is I'm going to start braiding until this hair is beside this natural hair in the middle again. So you're going to twist around just like this. Now this thicker piece is in the middle. So I'm going to twist it again like that. Now the thicker piece is on the outside. I'm going to twist it around one more time so that the natural hair is back in the middle again. Now I can take a piece from this thicker piece and put it in the middle now. So now all three strands are the same amount in thickness. Right here and right here. Now what I'm doing is I'm flipping around to where my hands are on the bottom. A lot of people wonder how my braids are so tight stitched. It's because I braid underhanded instead of overhanded. Like some people braid going in like you do when you're doing a double dutch, but I do the opposite way. Instead of taking the braids in, I'm going to be taking them out. Take these strands and I'm moving them out and around, out and around, out and around, out and around. So really what I'm doing is I'm taking each middle piece and pushing it out and around. This one's in the middle now, so I'm going to push it out and take it around to the back. This one's in the middle now, so I'm moving it out and around. Middle piece out and around, middle piece out and around. And you're going to do this all the way down. And I want you to remember, if you are a beginner braider, I've stated this before, it is very important that you focus on neatness before speed. So you're going to take your time until you get each loop out and around. Now another important factor is you want to keep your fingers as close to the braid that you have already created as possible. Now I've seen people braid like this. If you braid like this, I'm not knocking you, especially if you're doing a good job. But I find it harder when I do this. And I'm going to tell you some things that happen when I do it this way. Actually, I'm going to show you. Some people braid like this, where their fingers are way down here, and you can get pretty speedy like this. You can go pretty fast, you know, doing it this way. But do you see what's taking place when I'm doing it like this? Do you see how so much hair is just coming out of this braid? So and then not only that, the braid is pretty loose. Now you probably can do it a little tighter, but it's not going to be stiff like you want it. The stiffer the braid, the neater, more than likely it will be. Another way I've seen it braided was like this. This is the opposite way of the way I do it. There's nothing wrong with this way at all. Some people braid just fine like this. The difference is the braids are upside down now. You see how this braid is? And if you flip it over, notice the pattern changes. The pattern is going downward on this side, but on this side it's going this way. If you decide to do some type of bob box braids where you're going to burn and flip the ends, you can't curl it under this way because it will fall the opposite direction. So that's why this way isn't too good. When people braid this way, I notice this is how the back of my braid usually looks. And see, with this way, it's like everything is going on top. Instead of going on bottom. So if you would like to learn how to braid like I do, you would want to learn the underhanded way. And I'm going to show you the underhanded way one more time. And it's where you're taking everything and putting it backwards behind the braid, and you want your fingers again to be really close to the braid that you have just created. The closer your fingers stay to this braid, the neater the braid will be, trust me. And you want to see the redness in your fingers. You want to see the pressure. That means you're gripping it tight. Once again, you are not gripping her hair tight. This braid is pretty loose up here. A lot of people ask me, do I braid tight? I braid my girls' hair a lot, and they're young. And they will tell you, Mommy does not braid tight. I have trained myself to where I can make my braids look really neat. The braids are tight, stitched, but the braid itself is not tight toward the scalp. Once you have got this down pat, then you would want to start working on your speed. Maybe on the next braid, you want to try to do it a little bit faster than you did on the braid before. And what I did was I started timing myself. If it took me a minute to complete one braid the first time, I tried to beat 50 the next time. And then once you get to a point to where you want to stop, you can stop up here, you can stop down here. It doesn't matter. Then you're going to take your hair and you're going to tie it. And the reason why I tie the hair is because, have you ever noticed that sometimes when you see those braids that aren't tied, it will be a neat braid, and then, like, I'm going to say maybe stopping right here, the braid will start loosening up and getting fat and loose, and you can still see the braid in there, the braid pattern, but you can tell it's not supposed to be like that. Loop it around. Put my 2 fingers inside of the hole. That way my 2 fingers can catch the strand and pull it through, and then pull it up.